the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, it's the Eddie Howe press conference reaction, and also we'll look at latest names being linked. I'm joined tonight by Jack. How are you, Jack?
Not too bad, not too bad. Pleasure to be on the channel.
Yeah, pleasure to have you on, mate. Thank you very much indeed for coming on. So before we get into the show, I'll do the couple of little formalities. If you like what you see, then please smash the like. It really does help the channel up with search results, so smash those likes. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. Bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. I'm now 2 subs away from 500, so that would be absolutely magnificent. To achieve that in even just 6 months is absolutely unbelievable. So thank you to everybody who's subscribed so far. And if you want to make a donation to the channel, there's a link in the chat. Just click the link and follow the instructions. So thank you very much indeed. I'll just go to some comments before we get into the show. Sefton Mag, on my way into work, unfortunately, so I'll have to catch up through the night hours. Have a great show, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. How are you, the lads? Yeah, enjoy your night shift in the hospital, mate, and yeah, I'm sure you'll catch up sometime during the night. BS says, sexy Mag, clearly working as a male escort. Nah, he definitely works in a hospital. All the pies. Hi, mate, hope you're well. He says nearly 500 subs, but yeah, absolutely, mate. Thank you very much indeed. He's a great guy, he is. R.A. Coffee says, hi, Tony, Jack and all. Hi, Coffee, hope you're well. Yep, 2 more subs for 500. Alan says, evening, Tony and Jack. Evening, Alan, as well. Yeah, the other night I had a cracking guest on, Tottenham fan, Harry Scarf. You know, unbelievable knowledge he had. Very knowledgeable about his club. But he also does a bit of writing for a magazine which he covers Newcastle United and Leeds in. And a lot of the chat were quite surprised when I actually revealed how old he was at the end of the show, because he's actually only 14 years of age and the youngest guest I've ever had on my channel. But the amount of people, I've had people DMing me and saying, oh, this has been the best away fan guest you've had on your channel. And, you know, you've had some good ones on, but he's by far the best. And, I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the show or not, but, I mean, that lad was very knowledgeable.
He did seem very knowledgeable. And it's also good to have opposition fans that aren't just biased all the time and actually know their stuff. And look, there's plenty of them around Man United. And there's loads of them about. And yeah, it's just nice to have an away fan on such a young age as well, who just know a lot more about the game, and it's not too biased. So yeah, he was very knowledgeable, and he's a good guest to have on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's asked me to go on his channel on Monday night, so I said yes, I'll go on Monday night for him, and he's going to come back on the channel on Sunday evening after the game. So big up to him to come back on the channel on Sunday. So I might have him on, might get him on regular, and I might be on his regular. So who knows? But we shall see. Nick says, "All right, Tony, mate. Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Thank you. Hope you're well." Ian says, "Evening, Tony and Jack. Are you moonlighting, Jack? Lol." and Ian's saying hello to Coffee as well. Yeah, I mean, like I say, he was a great guy, great lad. I mean, guy, you can't call him a guy. He's just a young man still, you know. But if he's writing for an online magazine like that and he's not getting paid for it, I think in years to come he's going to be a journalist. I could see him being a sports journalist somewhere with the knowledge he has, and the world's his oyster, I suppose, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, so Eddie Howe had his press conference today. We'll just go through some of the key points. I mean, on the visit to Tottenham, who sit just 3 points behind us in the Premier League, he says it's a huge game for us. There's no denying this at this stage of the season. With the games running out, we're playing one of our competitors in the league, so it's a big moment in our season. We're pleased to be at home, and hopefully we can feel the force of the crowd. This week certainly needed everyone united in the game. I'm sure we will be, and hopefully we can respond to last week's disappointment. I mean, it's great now he's actually coming out and saying Tottenham's a competitor. Last season our competitors were Norwich, Burnley, Aston Villa. It's just amazing, the turnaround, isn't it, Jack?
It's crazy to think this time last year we were 12th, 13th, 11th, and now we're fourth in the league. It's just a bit night and day, and it's just a bit mind blowing because we've just not been used to it under the Bruce eras, under the Big Sam era. All them eras, you just never. You wouldn't think in a million years. Yes, when the takeover first happened, you wouldn't have thought in a year's time we'd be fighting for top four. I know we would be there eventually, but we've gone a bit quick. I don't mind that. Of course, I'd like to move a little bit quicker. I'm just that type of person. But it's just crazy. Like you said there, Tony, we were fighting against like Norwich, Burnley, Watford, Leeds. It's just and now we're fighting between Tottenham. I mean, we still are fighting against Aston Villa as well, but we're fighting against like Tottenham, Man United, two different big night and day names. And it's just so good how we've turned it all around and how we've managed this club. Because if you look at the likes of Chelsea, you just spend 600 million on garbage, and you look at us, we've recruited brilliantly, and we've shown that on the field, and we've shown it on the table as well. So we've just done fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Chelsea, and yes, we were linked to a Mudryk, but not at £100 million. He's nowhere near £100 million player.
God, no.
I've watched him. I watched him against England for Ukraine, and I just think he was poor. I didn't think he offered much. He just runs around a lot. And to be honest with you, I think the way they've gone out and bought their players, it just shows you how disjointed Chelsea really looks now. And it wouldn't surprise me if they finish as low as, say, 13th at the end of the season, because Todd Bowley must be thinking he's playing FIFA 23, because this is the real world, not FIFA 23, isn't it?
He's just gone on custom mode and put $1 billion on his transfer budget and just bought everyone. He's bought everyone with a pulse. I'm really shocked we've got some of our players. I'm really shocked we've got some of our players with Todd Bowley in charge. Bloody hell, he doesn't know a way around. I don't think the players are the problem at Chelsea. I think it's the ownership. Todd Bowley just does not know how to run a football club. That's it. Nothing else needed. He does not know how to run a football club. He's American. He should stick to American football because he just doesn't know football at all. And that is the problem with Chelsea. Todd Bowley.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be mind-boggling to see who the manager will be, because obviously Nagelsmann's now not going to be the manager. So it's a mess. And I mean, to bring Lampard back, who I say is not a Premier League manager. I mean, I've never rated Lampard as a Premier League manager. We've seen it, Everton, he was poor there. He just got them out last season out of relegation trouble. But to me, it's I just thought that's a backward step, taking Lampard on. And why, after he's been sacked by Abramovich, to bring him back in? I just don't know what Todd Bowley's thinking was.
I mean, in this summer transfer window, they're going to have, because of the amount of players they've signed in January and the summer, they're going to have to sell a lot of players this summer. So maybe this is our chance to nab in with the likes of Pulisic, maybe Kovacic, or Gallagher, them sort of players. This is our time this summer. Just, it's an easy target for Chelsea now because they're going to sell like a whole squad. Some nice, young, fresh youngsters bursting through, haven't been given a chance because there's so many players they've bought. I think now's our chance to go and nab them.
Yeah, absolutely. For the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Mudryk, he's not going to get half the transfer fees back that he's paid for them. It's just ridiculous money, 100 million Mudryk, 106 million on Fernandez.
The thing is with Enzo Fernandez, he's a good player, but I'm sorry, but I've never heard of him before the World Cup. Never. And Todd Bowley, it's like he's gone on Twitter one day in January. He's gone on Twitter. He's seen Enzo Fernandez hyping up the media because of his World Cup performance. And he's gone, oh, we'll buy him then. We'll buy him for the hype. I'm not saying Enzo Fernandez is an awful player because he's not. He's a good midfielder. But he's just not 100 million worth.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I think they've paid well over the odds for him. But one thing is certain, though, are these players going to want to stay there next season when there's no European football? Because the rumours going around are the players are trying to avoid finishing 7th in the Premier League because they don't want to go into the Europa Conference.
So that's another thing about the summer window. Most of them players, including Enzo Fernandez, who just won the World Cup, is going to want to play in Champions League or Europe. He's not going to want to stay there. But I don't think Chelsea will let him go. But there's going to be a ton of players, not just youngsters, experienced players who are going to want to play for a team in Europe. Because no doubt we're in Europe. It just depends which one. But a lot of them players are going to want to play Europe. And if we're in Europe, we've got a good chance of getting them. Because there's no way back now for Chelsea. They're going to be a season without Europe.
Oh yeah, definitely no. And it's going to take them a long way. It's going to be a long way for them to crawl back to where they used to be, at the top of the Premier League and winning stuff. I think that's going to be light years away for them now. It's just how much they've fallen, but it just shows you. This is why the cartel didn't want us having this takeover, because we've sort of broken it up. When you think we're above Chelsea, Liverpool are struggling. Well, yeah, I know they won against Leeds, but Leeds are just poor, aren't they, all over the pitch? So Liverpool ran rampant there. But we're above. But Liverpool's not even in a European place at the moment. Tottenham will probably not finish in the top 4 this season. They'll probably be lucky if they finish in the top 7 the way they're playing, Tottenham. Brighton are probably more challengers, I would say, for trying to get in that top 4 than Tottenham are. Because I think Brighton have been terrific and they show a lot of clubs up. They're not a huge club, but, but some of the players are bringing in from like South America. That one that scored the goal last week, and Cisco, 19-year-old Paraguayan, and Matoma, they just keep bringing them through. Casido as well.
It's just something with Paraguayans. You got Miggy Armour on and you got him. It's just something with Paraguay. They're going to be the new Argentina, I tell you what, because they're producing some top quality players. But yeah, that's 100%. Brighton have really showed up the Premier League this season. They've been really unlucky with the likes of the games against the likes of Tottenham, because the Premier League, they don't like it. They don't like Aston Villa being in the top 6. They don't like Brighton being in the top 6. They don't like Newcastle being in the top 6. The traditional big 6, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham, they all want them to be in there because it's good for the Premier League. And most, let's be honest, a high population of fans support the big 6 than the likes of Newcastle. So that's what the Premier League want. But now these teams are better than the big 6. They don't like it. No,
they don't, and that's the thing now, and that's the way it's going to be. Because they're going to have to get used to the fact that we're going to be up in this half of the Premier League table now, and we could say, yes, people are saying, "Oh, we're overachieving this season," we're well ahead of schedule. Yes, we're well ahead of schedule, but what you've got to look at is as well, it's the teams have been poor this season. So it's not just the fact that, we're ahead of schedule, but it's the fact that, like, Liverpool have had a poor season by their standards, in all honesty. Chelsea have had a really terrible season. Man United didn't start off life great, in the Premier League this season. They lost 4-0 away to Brentford, and and we've capitalised on that. Plus, we've played some brilliant football this season under Eddie Howe. And after him having his first full pre-season, we're reaping the rewards of it. And if we do finish in that top 4, which I believe we can do, and we should do, if we finish in that top 4, the quality of player that will come through the door in the summer is going to be elite. They're going to be different class to what we can get, like, say, if you're in Europa League or Europa Conference. I mean, before a ball was kicked, I said, I'll be happy with 7th place. I mean, what was your prediction before the season started?
I think I will. I think I either went 8th or 7th. But now looking back at that, I must have thought I was a bit stupid. Because now we're pretty fighting for top 4 now, and then we were thinking, oh, I'd be happy with 8th. But at the stage where we are now, I would not be happy with 8th at all. I would not be happy at 8th. But I thought we'd be a mid-team this season. I thought we'd lose quite a few games, but I thought we'd win quite a few games and draw mainly. And we're drawing enough, to be fair. But I thought we'd be like that mid-team, like an Aston Villa sort of team, like mid-table, but not being Chelsea, staying 10th to 8th, around there. But no, they're blowing us out the water. They're blowing us out the water, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I'd rather it move quick, but totally blew me away. I think I went 7th. Yeah,
7th. Yeah. Pete Proudlock says, I've got plenty of food picks for tonight's show. Nice one, Pete. I bet there's some interesting ones in there.
Oh God, not them.
Coffee says, I'm looking forward to them. Coffee says Maguire and De Gea are comedy gold.
I love that.
Well,
game
I've not seen the
Loved
goals,
it.
but it's just.
Oh, please watch him. Oh, it's so funny.
I'll have to. It's. I'll have to watch
De
them.
Gea. I'll give you a little spoiler. De Gea comes out his box. He tries to touch it down. Awful touch. Falls to a Sevilla player and open net.
I mean, Harry Maguire's a gift that keeps on giving, you know. I mean, this is what we call Harry Maguire because he looks like Lurch. And Uncle Fester looks like Ten Hag, doesn't he?
That's true. Yeah, he's a bit of a beard. And it'll be Ten Hag.
Just put a bit of a beard on him and you look like Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Ian's asking, is everything all right with Paul Jack? Because noticed tonight's show's cancelled.
No, everything's fine. He's just, I think it's a night off. That's all.
Yeah, don't blame him. Alan says, American owners in the Premier League, likes of Chelsea, are only thinking of a Super League.
Yeah.
And Paul says, good evening, Tony, and your guest. It's Jack, Paul. Yeah, good evening to you, Paul. All the Pie says, to hear dropped Maguire in it last night, to be fair. On the first goal.
Yeah, he I think it's Maguire's fault because he just passed it. Maguire was in a lot of space, but instantly, as soon as Maguire got the ball, 3 Sevilla players were around him, and Maguire just didn't know what to do. The right option was to play it back to De Gea, and De Gea would boot it up. But Maguire's stupid, isn't he? He's just dumb. So he tries to play it at wings, and he's got 2 players to his left and right, and a player behind him. He plays it to his left, where a player's right there. Just awful thinking.
I mean, Eddie Howe was also asked on Newcastle's destiny remained in their own hands with a 3-point lead in a game in hand over Tottenham. The potential significance of that, and Eddie Howe says it could be significant. I think a lot will depend on this week we have coming up. To be honest, he says we got Tottenham Sunday and we have a 3-game week. We have Everton and also Southampton. They're huge moments because that's 9 points to play for, and we have to maximise that time. Hopefully, we can go into a 3-game week in a good place. I mean, yeah, you know, the last time we lost a game, we came back strong. So, you know, we got beat off Man City the week after the cup final, but we came back and we beat Wolves. We can beat Tottenham on Sunday. I mean, we've got Tottenham, Everton, Southampton. Everton away, Southampton at home. I mean, if I look at that, if we beat Tottenham, I can't see no reason why we can't pick up 9 points. And I think Eddie Howe's right in that, isn't he?
He is. That's why this game is so huge. I mean, we lost against Aston Villa, which we were god awful. But this is our redemption time. Although I don't think we need a redemption because we've literally just come off 5 wins out of 5. So I don't think we need redemption because we're already good enough. But we definitely need a better performance. And if we get a win against Tottenham, spirits will be high, heads will be held up. And Everton, we know they're not in the greatest position at all. They're in a relegation battle, so they're going to be down. even though it's at Goodison, which I don't like Newcastle going to because it's just we don't seem to have a lot of luck in that ground. But these points are going to be vital, just not for points on the league, but for confidence going into the Everton game, because we definitely need confidence going into that game because it's going to be a lively atmosphere, Everton, and it's going to be huge. So we definitely need confidence going into that game, and these 3 points may just do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know what happened to them last season. They had an assist from Just Stop While, didn't they, from Harry Potter? It's, we'll never forget that, and it delayed the game. And but you see, I still look at that game and think, well, I want to know how he got past all the stewards to get on the pitch and to get himself cable tied to the post.
They're doing it more now. They started doing it again. And you've seen that guy on that pool table.
Yeah, snooker. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. I just don't know how they're getting away with it. How they're getting in these places, and the security needs to be tightened up because, yes, that powder might have been harmless, but who's to say that it might not have been? And it's people's lives are at risk.
And when that thing happened with that Harry Potter tying himself to the post, we were on top in that game. We were getting that far away from scoring, and then what I don't know how long did it take? 10, 15 minutes. And then it died off, and then Everton got back into the game.
Yeah. And Martin Dubravka's poor position and let Warby in, but
I don't know what our defence is doing. Our defence is just huddling over, talking in the corner. I don't know what our defence is doing. I mean, he shifted to the left, and the whole defence just went like a tilting ship. Just went one way, and he went other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, also Eddie Howe, on last week's 3-0 defeat, he said it was uncharacteristic performance from us this season. This season, we've been so consistent, home and away. We've not always won the games, but we've had certain hallmarks within the team and performances where you go, that's Newcastle this season. It's probably the first time we didn't deliver those hallmarks that brought us all the success that we've had. So maybe it's a good time for us to regroup, refocus all our energies on our performance for some key games to come. I mean, he's right. It was uncharacteristic. I mean, it was the worst performance of the season. And if we go through the rest of the season unscathed, or maybe say if we do lose another game or whatever, but we'll lose it because we've played so well, then if we've only had one really bad game all season, that's not bad out of 38 Premier League games to just have one bad game.
It's not bad at all because I think we have had one. I think the Bournemouth game we were very bad as well. We were lucky to get a point in that game, so I think that's 2. But apart from that, I think we've been very unlucky in some games. Yes, we performed bad in some games. I mean, the first half against Brentford we were bad, but we turned it round. And apart from that, I think we've been very, very good this season, and we've deserved the points we've got. I think some draws we deserved, and some wins we deserved, and some losses we have deserved as well due to mistakes. So I think it's just been an all right round season with performances, and I don't think we've done much wrong this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you go back that Man City game; they weren't great, Man City at the Etihad, and if we just had been a bit sharper and had shooting boots on, we probably would have beat them.
However, I think if we play them tomorrow, I think it may have been a bit of a bigger score because Man City have picked up from some form. Now, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they haven't they? Just, I mean, that machine called Haaland keeps going, doesn't he?
He's at 48 goals in one season. Jesus.
Yeah, in all competitions, it's mad, isn't it?
He's a robot.
Ola Pai says De Gea can't play out from the back. He can't.
But so can't our goalkeeper, so we can't see much. Nick Pope can't.
He can't. Andrew says, I read Max. Yeah, absolutely fine, Andrew. Bia says, far too much chalk on that table. Yeah, there was a lot of chalk on that table off that bag, wasn't there? On winger, on the fitness of ESM, Eddie Howe says we're not 100% sure yet on Maxi. We'll wait and see. There's not a setback, but it's taken maybe a little longer than we initially hoped, but it's no major setback. I mean, Eddie's saying no setbacks there. Do you think it's Eddie playing mind games with the media, maybe, or do you think he is going to keep him out and maybe think, right, well, I'll bring him back for maybe Everton or Villa?
I don't.
Southampton. Sorry.
I don't think he is playing mind games because we know
No.
Maxi. He's a very explosive player. He's a fast player, and fast players tend to pick up a lot of hamstring injuries. He's not. I don't think he's made it. I mean, some people say he's made of glass. I say his hamstring's made of a elastic glove, but it may be so. But that's just the explosive players for you. I mean, they always have hamstring injuries. It's just life. And he plays about 4 games, and he's out for another 6 weeks, and he's back for another 4 games, and he's out for another 6 weeks. And it's a shame because he's just picking up some form as well, and he looked superb. But that's the thing. The one main thing to do with the likes of Maxi with a hamstring injury, don't rush him. Don't rush him back, because the sooner you rush him back, the longer he'll be out. Because hamstring injuries are the worst. That ACLs, they're the worst in football. Because you can't walk without a hamstring. So they're a vital muscle group to play in football. So I don't think he's playing games. I think he's being genuine, and you can't rush him back. You can't, and you need to be careful, like some Maxi as well.
Yeah, definitely. Got to agree with that one. I mean, with Maxi, I mean, his fitness isn't great, is it? But he does push himself to his limits, so doesn't he? And that's probably half the problem. But do you think? I mean, I'll ask you this question. I've asked other people when I've had them on. Do you think if we get an offer for Maxi, do you think we'll cash in the summer if we get somebody else in that can fill the void?
Depends what offer. I think if someone pays over 40 or 45 mil, if they pay over 50 mil, I'd do it. But if they're going to do a swap, I want money on top of it. But I think if someone offers the right price, I'd cash in.
Yeah.
If someone offers 30, 35 mil, no. I want a good price for Maxi because he's a top player and we want what's worth of Maxi.
Yeah, definitely. Alan says, I'm confident that we're going to thrash Spurs on Sunday unless VAR and the ref help Spurs. Yeah, let's hope not. Bias says, today we are so close to signing Yakuba Minte.
I've not heard anything on that name.
I've not, and I've just had a look at him. He plays for Odense. He's got a contract till 2024. He's 18-year-old. He's Gambian. He plays up front. His value is £280,000. No outstanding strengths, no outstanding weaknesses. He's started 10 out of his 12 games he's played this season, been Team of the Week twice. He's got 2 goals and 4 assists. I mean, that's not bad going.
What league does he play in?
I think it's Danish, isn't it? Or Odense is Denmark, isn't it?
Not too bad.
He's only 18, so it's another one, isn't it? Them
stats don't sound too bad, to be fair. Them stats don't sound too bad.
No, not at all. And he's been in Team of the Week as well, so it's... Yeah,
very good.
Maybe it's a one for the future.
I need to search up that name.
And Andrew saying hi to Paul. Also he was then asked about Miguel Almiron, who was pushing for a start after coming on against Villa. Eddie Howe says it's an option. He says I'd say he's in contention. He's had minimal training. He's trained this week and trained well, as Miggy usually does. I was pleased to see him back on the pitch, but prior to that, he had quite a long absence, so we'll wait and see. I'll try and make the right call for him and the team. I think he's always had the physical capabilities to deliver off the ball. I think he's an incredible performer for us, but he's certainly helped us with the high-intensity pressing game that we want to implement. On the ball, I think he's vastly developed his game. I think he's now got a unique way of playing. He's unique relationships with the team, with Kieran Trippier, Sean Longstaff and Bruno. It's quite evident when we play how he links up with those players. So I think his game's in a good place, and we're delighted to get him back fit. I mean, anyhow praising him and saying he's back to training again. I mean, can you see Mickey starting Sunday, or do you think it'll still be Murphy?
Funnily enough, I've predicted him to start. Yeah, I think he will start. I think Murphy's been good. I think he's been good,
Yeah,
but I feel like he's not been performing in the past few weeks. I mean, he's done a job, Murphy, and he's done a brilliant job, and we couldn't have asked more of him because look, Murphy could have just turned up and been awful, but he's not. He's putting the job, and he's done very well at it. So I'm very happy with Murphy, but I feel like Miggy Almiron, he got a good off last week. He's trained all week, so he's ready for this match. And I do think he will start because I feel like I know we go on about his left foot and he's allergic to his right foot, but I would like to see Miggy start and see how he is. But yeah, I would start him.
yeah, I would as well. I mean, obviously not just Miggy, but I would bring Target in for Burn. I think Burn's played well this season at left back. I think he's done tremendous, but I think the last couple of games he started to look a bit out of sorts. And I think after last week's game against Villa, when he was outstripped for pace, I think now's the time for Burn to have a rest on the bench, and I think give Target a start. Do you echo that, Jack?
Yeah, Burns hasn't Burn played in pretty much every single game this season. He needs a rest. Yeah. He really just needs a rest, and you can see it. And I think we've got a left back there. We've signed him for a reason. I know he's been injured a little bit this season, but we've got a left back there. I'd use him because you never know. Because if we go Champions League, we're definitely going to look for a left back and a class left back, and Matt Target may never get to see it ever again. So I'd definitely use him and see how he is. But Dan Burn definitely needs a rest. Look, Dan Burn, it was good while it lasted, but Matt Target needs a chance at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's talk about a journalist, Dean Jones, has said apparently Target's not happy at Newcastle now because he's not really got any game time. Yes, he was out with an illness, but the thing is, when Burn came in, he played so well, and you can't drop a team that's playing well, and also a back four that's playing so well. So you have to fight to get back in the team. But whether this is just media talk or not, but I mean, if we get Champions League, I mean, there's one guy who I think be absolutely stunned at left back for us, because I think we are going to target a left back in the summer. But this guy is on a free from Benfica in the summer, Alex Grimaldo.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would love him.
What a left back.
Scored a free kick against us as well.
He did. Yes,
That's free kick. That was a beautiful free kick.
Yeah. So
he's fast, he's defensive. And it'll be nice to have a set piece with a left foot as well. It'll be very nice to have that sort of left back as well. Because when he played yesterday against day before, against AC Milan, not AC, Inter Milan. He had a free kick and it dipped, so he's got a wonder of a left foot, and it would be a very nice option because we know Trippier, his set pieces so far this season. I mean, after the World Cup, his set pieces have been dreadful, and we definitely need someone new on them. And it would be nice to have a left footer on them as well.
Yeah, definitely. Talking of being linked with players and that, I mean, two players who we are strongly linked with, well, definitely last season we weren't, more so this season we're now being linked with the other one, but they both scored last night, both for Leverkusen, Diaby and Mitchell back at the left back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the one reason we didn't sign Diaby last summer because of Champions League football, because Leverkusen had Champions League football this season. Well, they haven't done so well in Champions League, so I think it's kind of backfired on him. But that's the only reason he didn't sign. And when we get, I'm not going to say if, and I'm very confident we'll get Champions League football. So when we get Champions League football next season, he'll walk through the door.
Yeah, and I think also he said he wanted to stay there because the World Cup was coming up, and he wasn't sure if he'd lose his place, or so he didn't want to change. He did want to change clubs, which is understandable. Just going to some comments. Paul says, "Hi Tony and Jack, you both need to get a profile on LinkedIn if you want to grow your channels." I'm going to have to find out how to do this properly, Paul, because I've looked at it now. I'm sure I don't know if I'm doing it right or not, but I'll have to have a look at something and probably have a look at the help section on it. LA Coffee says Mafinho will be banging screamers against Spurs. Do you know what it is, Coffee? Yeah, that would be fantastic if Murphy done a screamer against Spurs, but it all depends whether he'll start or I'm not sure. Paul says 14 likes. We'll share the show on LinkedIn for you, Paul. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Much appreciated, mate.
Sorry about that.
Nah, worries. Jake says Gordon will start. I mean, I'm not going to be too critical of Gordon. I thought last week he was very anonymous. He was, I don't think I can remember the commentator mentioning his name much, or even once. To be fair, I mean, he didn't do a lot in that first half. He was rightly taken off. I think he's better on the right, in all honesty. He looked better against Man U when he came on the right-hand side than he did last week on the left. I want to give this guy a chance because I do think there's a player in there. So I'm looking at him thinking if he started Gordon on Sunday, play him on the right. And then also I think come the summer, Gordon will have a full pre-season under Eddie Howe. And he could be an even better player next season, So I'm not gonna go out there and say write him off now. You know what I mean? And I want to give the guy a chance because I like to give everybody a chance at the end of the day. And I've always thought, even before he came to us, I always said, even on my videos when we were transfer rumoured with him, I said, look, Gordon's a rough diamond. He needs smoothing out, and Eddie Howe's the man to do it. What's your thoughts on Anthony Gordon?
Yeah, there's definitely a player in there, but he's a young player. He's still finding his feet. He's just come to a big club from a small club with shite management, and it's gonna take a while for Anthony Gordon to settle in and fully be the best player he can be. And yeah, give him a chance. I'm not saying give him a chance as in like start him every week because you can't. If you don't perform, I'm going to call it out. Like if Bruno doesn't perform, I'll call him out on it. I'll say Bruno, he didn't perform. You were shite against that team. You were shite against the other team. I'm going to call it out if you play shite. But obviously Bruno hasn't been shite. He's one of the best players in the league. I'm just making an example, by the way, everyone. Just making an example. I'm not saying Bruno's shite. But Gordon, I don't think when he played on the left against Aston Villa, he got the ball, turned around. Ashley Young is there. Ashley Young had him in his pocket for the whole game until he went off. Gordon, he's been a lot better on the right. I give him a chance on the right. I'd sub him on this game, make him an impact sub, and then play him on the right. If he does better than Miggy or Murphy, then give him a start. But I feel like now we know it doesn't work for him on the left, but now it's time to reintroduce himself on the right and sub him on the right. Because every time, to be fair, every time we've subbed him on the right, he's done a brilliant job. So I don't know why Eddie Howe didn't play him on the right hand side. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ian says he wouldn't start Gordon on Sunday.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Paul says yes all day for me for Gordon. Alan says Grimaldo's a class act, but I think we'll not be the only team in from. That's the only way. I think there'll be a lot more teams.
Man City might be in from as well.
Yeah. Coffee says that Benfica game was the first time we found Byrne had a weakness for pace. Yeah. I'll DM you. Thank you, Paul. Alan says swap ASM for Dembele. I mean, Ousmane Dembele, I mean, yeah, he's being linked, but I like him as a player. I think he's a cracking player. The only problem I have with Ousmane Dembele is it's his injury record, and that's what frightens me. And he could have signed on a free last year, and now he's got a contract. It's how much Barcelona will want for him. And for me, I'm not sure. I'm on the fence on that one. What about you? About Dembele? I mean, he's a class act, but it's his injury record.
He is a class act, but he's not one of them players where you see every single day in the media. He's just not one of them sort of players. He's a good player, but he does get injured a lot, and that is also my worry as well. But yeah, it'll be a bit of a weird one. But if we do sign him, then I'll support him all the way. But I wouldn't due to his injury and he signed a new contract. And I don't think we've done a lot of deals with Barca, so it'll be interesting to see how much Barca would want for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul says Sunday 4-0. Isak, Miggy, Bruno, and Callum to tear Spurs a new one. I like your confidence, Paul. That would be fantastic.
God,
yeah, that would be absolutely brilliant. I mean, you know, we talk about you know, getting players through the door. I mean, the one that keeps rumbling on a lot is this guy, James Maddison. I mean, apparently we're favourites more than Spurs are now. Would you like
get
to see
him through the door? Pay the money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
that's what
thing
we were
is,
saying all summer. Pay the money. Stop tiptoeing around. And we've regretted it now.
If Leicester go down, I think to be fair, you'll get him for a lot less. I think we'll get him for a lot less than 50 million. That's for sure. And he's only got a year left.
Value will go down. Yeah. If Leicester go down, he's ours.
Yeah. Another player who we're linked with, who's only going to have a year left on his deal, Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. He's 27.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He is. He's class, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have him. One player I would love to see Newcastle, and I know I've raved about this guy quite a bit, and I've actually seen him play live, and he was terrific. It's this guy, Manu Kone of Mönchengladbach. He's a class act. I've seen that game he had against Leipzig where he was absolutely fantastic, man the match. But I was recently at Leicester's ground for the England under-21s and France under-21s, and first half he ran the show for France. He even brought out a tremendous save from James Trafford in the England goal. I mean, he is a class act. He's only 21, and you know, it solves that number 6 for us, no problem whatsoever. And his long balls are just absolutely pinpoint. Do you know much about him?
I don't really, but I've heard his name a lot. And we definitely need number 6 this summer because Bruno, he's kind of been playing the number 6 and he doesn't want to play the number 6. He wants to play higher up. And I want him playing higher up as well because we saw in that Brentford game in October, he can score goals, Bruno. He can score goals. So I definitely want him higher up the pitch, and I definitely want a nice 6. My ideal 6 is a captain. I like a Roy Keane in a team. I like a Roy Keane, someone who doesn't take no shite, someone who bosses everything about. Number 6, he's hard, he's tough. That's my ideal number 6. I know Coney won't be that sort of player. I don't think he'll be that sort of player. He's a good player, but I don't think he's Roy Keane mentality. But he's definitely a class player. And he's the sort of signing we go for because we tend to go for the youngins of this world who can grow with the club. Kind of like an Arsenal. We sign them and then they be good. Like Arsenal this year. I mean, the likes of Martinelli, Saka, they're all coming through now. And that's paid off.
I mean, there's another defensive midfielder who we could go for in the summer who, again, has only got 12 months on his contract. You know, we like these players that have only got a year left on their deals. And he's been with his club for like 6 years since he was like 19 years of age. He's 25 now. But I think he'd be tremendous now in midfield. And, you know, what's your thoughts, Ruben Neves?
Oh, I see. A lot of people say he's a class player. And I do think he is a class player, but I don't know. I mean, he can definitely score a goal outside the box. We know that, but he scored one against. He scored one for us, against us, not for us, against us. In August. I don't know. I really don't know with Ruben Neves.
He needs to be playing at a higher level, though, because the Mott Wolves are.
He does, but I don't know whether to take the risk. I'm going to go no for now. I'm going to go no for now. Yeah. You may be thinking I'm stupid, but
no.
Ruben Neves. I don't know. I ain't seen too much of him this season.
Yeah,
I mean when he played us, he wasn't that good.
if Leicester go down, we might be double rating Leicester, by the way. I mean, another player linked to us, Harvey Barnes. And, ironically, Harvey Barnes has the same agency as Eddie Howe.
Really?
Yeah. So, the same agency Eddie Howe uses for his agent, it's the same as Harvey Barnes. So, that's very interesting. That's come out. He's
a good player. He's a good player.
Very good player.
He can score a goal. Can beat a defender. Yeah, class player. I'd take him in a heartbeat. But I feel like we'd be robbing Leicester at that point. I feel like we'd be robbing them really badly. I think that they'll be like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? You just stole two of our best players. What's going on here? We've got no chance next season.
Well, if they're in the Championship, there's no way they're staying, are they? So,
I mean, when there was talks about a double taking with Madsen and Barnes in the deal, no way in a million years would Leicester do that. Of course, I'd like it, but you got to think about Leicester as well. Leicester are going to be like, what's going on here? Why are we going to sell these two players? Two of our best players.
Yeah. Again, this guy scored a great goal last night for his club, and again, another one that's been linked to us, Declan Rice. I mean, he's a hell of a player, isn't he, Declan Rice?
Depends what a transfer budget is. I think Declan Rice is going for 80 million. And if we're going to sign the likes of Diaby, Declan Rice or Madsen, it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of money. That's going to be talking over 200 million, which is more than what we spent in 2 windows. Yeah. I don't know about Declan Rice. I think what we need to do is go for our most needed player, which is either a left back or a creative midfielder. Then after that, we can start twisting things around, getting cover for players. But I feel like we need to go for what we need, like a need for next season, and then go for if we've got any spare money hanging around, then go for them sort of players. But it's a hefty price tag, Declan Rice. Hefty price tag, 80 million. So it's a lot.
Yeah, but it's value for money if you get him, though.
It is value for money because he's a top player. He's a top player. And I think I'd have him over that Kone as a number 6.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, definitely have him. I mean, looking at players like going out in the summer, I mean, we're going to expect to. I mean, we know Chris Wood's definitely going because that clause has been activated now, so he'll be definitely gone. I think Jamal Lascelles will go in the summer.
I think it most definitely be gone.
Yeah. I'm going to put a picture on screen. I'm going to ask you, would you sell this guy in the summer? Martin Dubravka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to be here, does he? Well. He don't want to be here.
No.
Why would you go to Manor if you want to stay at Newcastle? He don't want to be here. Let's be honest. He don't want to be here. As soon as Nick Pope went through the door, tools dropped.
Yeah, he
didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight for the first place. Nick Pope had a walkthrough, and rightly so because he's better than Dubravka. But Dubravka didn't want to fight. Not a chance. I'd have Karius as number 2 because I think Karius is good enough. I do.
Yeah, I was just going to say Karius, number 2, definitely without doubt.
I think he's good enough. I think people take that Champions League final way to heart, and he should be doing that because in the final, I don't get really what he could do with both goals. I mean, I know the second goal was a deflection, and people saying he should do better. You don't know until you're in them situations. When you're in a situation with 50,000 Geordies behind you, trying to get you on, and you're in a very intense final, and then them sort of chances get thrown at you. The header, couldn't do anything about it. It's a class header by Casemiro, and the Rashford goal deflection, and he was already on his way down. He saw the replay from behind. Rashford was going bottom right, and he was going there, and he could and I think he would have saved it. That deflection, his arms were down like that, and he had to try and go there quick enough, and it just slipped through his hands. Look, Karius is a class keeper. I'd keep him for next season. I'd extend his contract. He's a class keeper. I mean, when we played Al Hilal, I'm ranting on a bit now. Against Al Hilal, when he played that first half, he was class. I mean, I know Al Hilal, but he had a lot of shots at him, and I was very, very impressed with Karius then. I was very impressed. But then when Mark Gillespie came on second half, night and day, he was class, Karius, and I'd definitely keep him.
Yeah, I thought you played all right in that final. You pulled off some good saves in that second half because, I mean, Man U could have extended that lead.
What was it? That Weghorst shot from far out. That was a class save. class. Good shot by Weghorst, which is not what he does often. But look, hands down, Karras was unbelievable. That's an
I
unbelievable
mean,
save.
the Daily Mail before the game started put out, Karius has made a howler in the warm-up, so that just shows you what's going to happen in the game now. There's going to be howler after howler. And the media were waiting for him to collapse in that game, and it didn't happen, so they didn't get that story.
Oh wow, yeah. They want views, and Karras is, look at his face above your camera, bless him. He's just there for a good time, and he just wants to play his football, and yeah, he's getting it, and he deserves a lot better from the media.
Yeah. Jake says, rice, baby.
Can you believe that Mason Mount has been priced as 80 million? Can't believe it.
I wouldn't buy him for 80 million.
God no. And guess what his wages are as well? 250,000 in wages.
He's not that great. I'm sorry, he's not that great.
I did a video on it, and people in comments were like, "What, 80 million? Are you kidding? Are you sure you're not reading something off a dodgy website?"
80 million, that's just ridiculous.
Oh God. I said top
goalie.
Mason Mount can't even get into the starting 11. How is he going to go for 80 million?
Yeah.
Blows me away.
He's just trying to make money back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rock the Toon says, I like Neves, always a threat when we play Wolves. Yeah, he is. Alan says, I like the player Alvarez as DM. Yeah, Edson Alvarez, he's a class act. Bia says, I would take Neves in a heartbeat, but I hear he's Barcelona bound. Okay, that's interesting. Rock the Toon says, Declan close to 100 million.
Yeah, 80 million. Close.
Yeah. Bia says, Jamal Lascelles going this summer here. The circus are in town to sign him. Southampton goal first minute. What? They're ahead against Arsenal. No way. Wow. Scarfy, there he is. Harry Scarf, big up. Yeah, big up.
I really apologise for the noise. This house is just noise. There's a washing machine through the wall, and there's taps going over. It's just and TV. Oh, it just annoys me. Yeah, they are 1-0 up. First minute. Yeah, they are.
God, I can't believe that. Is this Arsenal bottling the title race now?
Oh, they're at home as well.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they do concede early goals. They did it against Bournemouth.
Yeah, I mean, when we go back to that 2016 season when Leicester won the title, Spurs should have won the title that season, but they bottled in, didn't they? So
yeah,
they started losing games they shouldn't have lost, and it's amazing what it can do to you, a title race.
Oh God! I mean, the pressure you must be under.
Yeah,
and it's such a young squad as well. Such a young squad going in this amount of pressure. I mean, Man City, they're used to it, so I want Arsenal to win it because I'm sick of City winning it every single year. That's why I want Arsenal to win because I'm just sick of City winning it all the time. But yeah, I want Arsenal to win the league. Someone different.
I think they'll turn it round, Arsenal.
They did this against Bournemouth. They'll come back. They were good.
Yeah.
They're good enough. They're at home as well.
Yeah, they should do it at the Emirates. Coffee says, I predict 6-2 Newcastle. Isak to score first 1-0. Then Kane header 1-1. Then after half-time, Isak scores 2-1. Kane gets a dodgy penalty 2-2. Then Isak, Wilson, Murphy and Gordon all score. I like his confidence.
Confidence is through the roof there. Fair play.
I remember when we beat Spurs 7-1, that Shearer goal. Brilliant game, that.
Was it where he did that a few kick-ups over a few defenders and then smashed it top right? Was that the one?
Yeah.
Class goal there by Shearer.
Scarfy says 500 subs soon. Thank you very much, mate. Arsenal fumble, says Jake. Andrew says Arteta would be the youngest manager to win the Premier League. Yeah, he would be. And Scarfy says no, Newcastle to win 4-1 for me, even though he's a big Spurs fan. I mean, that club, Tottenham Hotspur, are just in turmoil, aren't they? I mean,
their defence is awful. We need to really capitalise on that.
And Stellini's took over from Conte, and you'd think he'd have his own style of football, but he's carrying on the Conte way. So there's no change at Tottenham, is there?
No. No.
I can't see Kane being there after the summer.
No, he's going to force a move no matter what. I think he's apparently he's PSG bound now. Apparently PSG are after him. Leicester gone bottom now. Leicester 20th. Get in.
I mean, would you take Harry Kane at Newcastle, Jack?
Oh, yo, I don't know. It's another one with Neves. I love him for his goals. I think he's a bit old. I think he's a bit slow. I like a pacey attacker like an Osimhen or someone like that. I'd like a pacey centre forward nowadays because defences are getting better and better and better. So we need a pacey striker. I think no, I wouldn't just because his pace. I think if Kane was a few years ago, yeah, I would. But I don't like. I love him for his goals. Don't get me wrong. He's a class finisher, but is that he's just his pace. I don't like it. He's slow.
Yeah. The only reason I'd want Harry Kane to Newcastle is so if he beats Shearer's record, he does it in the black and white shirt.
Oh yeah, now you said that he will not be going to PSG because he's fighting Shearer in it, but he's never going to get there because Shearer's best of all time. But
yeah. Scarfy says no hate for Newcastle. No, absolutely not.
We have no hate for Spurs either. I don't mind Spurs fans. They don't cause any trouble. They're not Everton's, they're not the Scouse Mackhams. They're not Man United fans. Not Liverpool fans. I don't mind Spurs. I just don't like the way the players act.
And they've got the guy at the top of the chain's not a very nice guy either, Daniel Levy. I mean, the same guy who tried to get our takeover blocked and then went to the Saudis and the Mandarin and said, we'll come by Tottenham instead, and they told him where to go. It's like that guy's a muppet. He really is.
He's a muppet. And he's the one behind it all, not letting Harry Kane move.
Jake said, I don't want Arsenal to win. I want Eddie to get manager of the season.
That is true, but I feel like regardless, if Arsenal do win the league, which is likely, then Arteta no doubt will get manager of the season because look what he's done. But I think if Arsenal don't win, I think Eddie Howe will get it. Pep can't get it because Pep's just doing what he does every year.
Yeah.
And this is mind-blowing stuff from Eddie Howe. I mean, yes, we've had a good summer transfer window, but if you look at the signings we've made, 10 million for Pope, 30 million for Botman, 30 million for Target. I know we paid 60 mil for Isak, but that's probably a bargain nowadays. It's not world class, and he's just magic. He's like the next Harry Potter, Eddie Howe. He's just magic of what he does in his profession, and hats down to him. He's just all the idiots that talk sport or who would your first choice manager be? Eddie Howe. Okay, Eddie Howe. Yeah, it just proves you wrong there, son. Everyone doubted him. Yeah. Proved him wrong. Love him.
They all said Eddie Howe couldn't defend. His teams don't defend. Well,
hence he was a defender when he was a professional footballer.
Yeah, and he's took a bit of Simeone mould on him as well.
Did you know he supports Everton as well?
Who Eddie Howe does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sports bloody Everton.
Jeez. So you probably love it even more for beat Everton. But but I mean, he's like I've said, with him spending time with Simeone, I think we're seeing that little bit of shithousery that Simeone shows towards people, and we're seeing it from Eddie Howe, which is great,
When he did that,
I like to see when he starts getting angry with the other managers on the touchline now, because when they start, he has to go back, and I thought, this is great to see from Eddie Howe.
I mean, that one with Ten Hag. That one with Ten Hag. Loved it.
Yeah.
He probably told him to, you can sit that Carabao Cup where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then when Murphy come off the pitch pointing at his watch to Ten Hag.
Time wasting my arse.
That's twice this season we've had shithousery from Murphy, because when Selector Carr got sent off, 3 times, yes, that's right, because when Selector Carr got sent off, he waved to him bye-bye.
Yeah, and then that Marco Silva, where he made that funny face at him. And then
yes.
Smiling. And I think he was smiling when he was going off as well. So that's 4 times.
Yeah.
I love him, man. I love him. He's not going to be here for long, but he's a good. I love his banter. I love his I love his personality.
Yeah, definitely. He's a Newcastle fan as well, isn't he? So he's living the dream. Coffee says, "I'm changing my prediction to 6-1. Kane's penalty will reach the away section."
A revamp of the World Cup.
World Cup. Scarfy says, "Kane has an incredible all-round game."
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a terrible player. Of course I'm not, because he's not a terrible player. I'm just saying he's not my sort of striker that I'd go for. I know that's my opinion. A lot of Newcastle fans might be including yourself, Tony, that you would take Harry Kane, and I don't. And I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying he's just not my sort of striker. I like a fast one.
That's the only reason I'm saying selfish-wise, just so you break the record in the black and white shirt. But in all honesty, if there was 2 strikers you were offered, and you were offered Osimhen or Kane, and we know Kane's got probably a better score, he's got a great scoring record, but I'm looking at it now, I'd rather have Osimhen younger, and you'll get more years out of him than you will out of Harry Kane. Harry Kane's 29, so Osimhen's 23. You're going to get a lot more out of Osimhen than you are out with Kane. You're not going to get 10 years out of Kane, but you will out of Osimhen.
Yeah, 100%. He's faster. He's got a good goal in him. He's like an Isak, but more of a number 9. Yeah, I'd take Osimhen all day.
Yeah. Scarfy says respect, and he says, "Agreed, Jack. Players are a disgrace," and Levy. Bia says, "Harry Kane, captain of Bottler FC. I wouldn't have him. Old, slow, and has the charisma of a damp rag." Coffee says, "Simon Jordan wore a Newcastle shirt today on TalkSport."
I.
Did he? I've not seen that. I'll have to watch that then.
He wore the 18-19 home shirt.
Ah, right.
The one with the Rondon one.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
A player who played well for us in the loan season. But
yeah, that free kick against Bournemouth. Wow.
Yeah. He scored a good one against Watford as well, didn't he? At Vicarage Road.
Yeah, he's a good player. Oh,
yeah.
2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. It's 2-0 Southampton. It's 2-0 Southampton.
What on earth is going on?
It's Theo Walcott.
Is he celebrating?
No,
I didn't think he would.
He shouldn't celebrate. No. Oh, God. What's going on?
Arsenal fans are going to be melting down, aren't they?
Oh, Arteta's not happy.
EFTV won't be happy.
Oh, God, no. Shinchenko's just trying to get him all regrouped. Yeah, he's just doing a team huddle now, Shinchenko.
I can't believe this.
Watch it be disallowed. Watch it be disallowed. Watch it be disallowed.
Oh, is it going to a VR check, is it?
I'm just saying. I won't start celebrating. I won't start doing that because it's probably going to be disallowed. Probably knowing VAR. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Nope, that's onside all day long. 2-0.
It's onside.
All day long. Wow. Just played it through the back line and Theo Walcott slots it home. Oh, Ramsdale should save that. Oh, he should save that. Anyway, we'll move on now. Move on.
Alan says, "Lads, would you have Evan Ferguson from Brighton and Harry Kane?" Yes, I would. I would have Evan Ferguson, 18 years old. I mean,
go on.
I would, but I wouldn't say this next season. I would say you got to give him another season or two in the Premier League to see how he does. Because you don't want him just to come in this season, have a breakthrough and do well, and then next season he only scores like 3 goals all season. It's like you've got to see how he does it year in, year out, and if he proves it, then yeah, you buy him, don't you?
It's his first breakout season. I'd definitely give him a few more seasons or a season just to see how he does next season. He's a young kid. I mean, these careers like the likes of Evan Ferguson go so fast. And look, if you do so well in your first season, you score a lot of goals, your price tag is going to be like 50 million in the first season. That's just the transfer market nowadays. And if he moves to a bigger club, like Chelsea, he ain't going to get a chance, and his career's going to go from there to there. So I'd definitely stay at Brighton where you know you're going to get football.
Yeah, definitely. I know when I did a transfer when I did a video on rumours and that, and I think it was Howe the lads put on and said, well, why don't we just buy him and loan him back to Brighton?
Yeah, moving him from south to north continuously. The poor lad.
No, you couldn't do that.
A long journey.
I don't rate Harry Kane, says Coffee. That's fair enough. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
Yep.
I haven't watched it, to be fair.
I'd watch it. It's class.
Jake says he's too slow for us, Kane. Yeah. Coffee says even Man U fans don't want Kane.
Most of them do.
Yeah.
They're like us, between Kane or Osimhen.
Yeah. And a lot more diamond from Kane too, says Mary. Yeah, I mean, we know what he's like. We know what he's like for diving. I mean, against Everton, when Decore put his hands up in his face, the way Kane went down, it was disgusting behaviour from the England captain. But you see, the thing is, he gets away with it because he's England captain. They can't touch him, But I think, in all honesty, when players go down like that and they've hardly been touched, I think they should get some sort of ban, because I don't think it's right that players can just think. Carded. Yeah, I think they should.
I was speaking to my dad about it, and he said, "Red carded. That'll stop them from doing that. If they know they're going to get a red card for it, they'll stop." And I totally agree.
Yeah.
Give them a ban or a red card. They'll stop doing it then.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're new to the channel, Mary, please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you. Hi, Mary says coffee. Just I like coffee. Got a fan there. Yeah, says Southampton 2 up going to VAR. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's a history of Arsenal, says Coffee. Up the Saints, says Scarfy. Yeah, I thought you would, because Tottenham fan, your rivals. It would be like us with Sunderland.
That is Leicester in the mud.
Arsenal concede 1 goal. Arteta out, says BFA. Yeah. Mary says, I want to disclaim it had nothing to do with me. Well, Arsenal going down 2-0. That's fine. Alan says, Arsenal have bottled it.
Let's have a look at it. They're still 4 points clear.
Scarfy says, leave Kane alone. He's only criticised Tony because he's England captain, same with Beckham. It's fair enough. I just think when he went down against Everton, I just thought that was a bit bad, really. I thought he didn't have to do that, because Decore would have seen red anyway if Kane had stayed on his feet, because the hand in the face, if the referee hadn't thought the VAR saw it, so it would have been off anyway. So, have done. Thank you very much, Mary.
And the amount of time it took him to go down as well. Like, you got a push, and then 5 seconds later.
Yeah, the delayed reaction.
Oh, and he pushed him like that, and his face went, and he went, like, as if he's just been punched. 2-1 Arsenal, by the way. 2-1 Southampton, sorry.
2-1, wow. Nell says, big ups Arsenal losing. Yeah, absolutely.
They're back now. They're back in it. What a game, though. 20 minutes, 2-1. Whoa.
Scarfy, all the players do it. They do. I mean, Ronaldo used to do that all the time, didn't he? And
I'm not ashamed to say this. Some of our players do it as well. It's just like, I know some players dive around to see the game out, but the way Kane did it, he weren't seeing the game out.
Mary says, no, the disclaimer was to do with VAR decision in their game. That's fine. I mean, there's a thing coming out. I mean, have you heard this? FIFA are looking to introduce another card for the referee. It's called an orange card. And what the orange card will be is, instead of getting a yellow, if they think it's on the discretion of the referee, but the orange card, if he pulls that out, means the player has to leave the pitch and be sin binned for 10 minutes. Do you think we're just meddling with the game too much, or do you think we should just keep it as yellow and reds?
So what they're saying is, if the VAR decision can't get, if the VAR can't get a decision, or the referee can't get a decision, and they have to end up having to go 50-50, they'll just pull out the orange card. No, I think they're playing around a bit too much. It's either a red or a yellow. Make your mind up.
They're not saying much of the like in the VAR. It's more like to the fact like if the player's put in a challenge which is worthy of a yellow card all day, but rather than that player totting up his yellow cards, it might be the referee may think, oh well, I'll give him an orange card and send him off for 10 minutes. To me, I think it's stupid.
All the players are just going to take advantage of that and just make sure they only get an orange. Now, it's either a yellow or a red. Make your mind up. I think they're tweaking with it a little bit too much. Just red card or yellow for me.
Yeah. Scarfy says, don't agree with it, to be fair. Coffee says, I thought Arsenal were playing at St Mary's. That's why the disclaimer. Ah, right, okay.
No, they. I think they drew at St Mary's, didn't they? Or lost?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then wasn't long after that we went down there, played them in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, wow, yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, because they drew with them on the Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan says, I remember when Kane injured Florian Lejeune of Newcastle. That was nasty.
Yeah, that was.
That was a bad tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit awful.
No, he says, treat you like coffee. Look, you're a fan. I mean, looking ahead to Sunday's game, how many changes would you make, or who would you bring in, or who would you put out, or would you? Yeah,
I'd bring in Miggy. So what's that? I'd bring in two changes. Two changes? No, 3. Wait, I'm getting mixed up here. Yeah, 3. So I'm bringing Miggy in, I'm bringing Longstaff in, and I'm bringing Target in. So yeah. 3. I'm having Willock, Bruno, Longstaff in the midfield, Jolinton on the left, Isak, Miggy, Target, and then back. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. I think if we did that and then maybe give Miggy 45 minutes match fitness time, and then maybe the start of the second half, you could always bring Gordon on and put him on the right.
Yeah.
And give him 45 minutes. So, because you just got to build Miggy's fitness back up. We don't want Miggy coming in and playing an hour and then going off with an injury or something like that after the game, and it just sets us back then. So, yeah, I think that's the changes I would have made anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
What scoreline you going for, Jack, then?
I'm going 2-0, and I'm going to go with an Isak with a brace.
Yeah, that's a good shout, that is. I'm saying 2-0, and I said Isak to score, and I'm going to say Botman to score, because I'm down to see Botman get a goal, and I think if you got one at St James's Park, I think you go on a world celebration. I think you could even get a booking, because you'd probably take your shirt off knowing Botman, but yeah.
There's one reason I said I'm not predicting 3-1, because every single time I predict 3-1 in a game, we always lose. I predicted 3-1 against Liverpool because I was really confident, and we lost 2-0.
Yeah.
I predicted 3-1 against Aston Villa. We lost 3-0. So I'm never predicting 3-1 ever again. And every time I predict 2, the last time I predicted 2-0 was a Man United game. So hopefully it's good luck.
Yeah, let's hope it's let's hope that's good luck. And I just, like I say, I'm going 2-0 as well, and I would like to see Botman get a goal. I think it would be fantastic. I mean, obviously you're too young to remember, but you've probably seen them on videos and things like that. I mean, when Asprilla scored once and he put his shirt on the flag and held the flag up with his shirt on it, absolutely brilliant. It's a long time since we've had players do something like that.
Asprilla, what a player!
What a player! He was quality. He really was.
That hat-trick against Barcelona.
Oh gosh, yeah, that lives long in the memory. That's why we can't wait for Champions League nights to come back to St James's Park. and things like beating Juventus at home, Andy Griffin, the right back, scoring, and we're playing in our away shirts at home because Juventus's away shirt clashed with the referee's kit. And the only other kit had was the home kit. So they had to wear the home kit and we had to wear our away shirt that night. And it was funny, we were at home in our away shirt and we won the game 1-0 through Andy Griffin. A right back we bought from Stoke City for like £1.5 million, it's that was the season when that was our campaign. We'd lost the first 3 games of the Champions League and we come back and won the last 3 and qualified, and it was the only time a team had ever done that at the time. So it's probably been beaten since that record. But
Yeah, I think so.
we've had a few records going. I mean, like when we came back from 4-0 down against Arsenal, I was at that game when I had my season ticket. I was at, and
yeah.
we were 3-0 down, and used to be there's a guy sat along from me called Keith, and he used to have NUFC on his tattooed on his belly, and him and his mate were leaving after 18 minutes, and they said, "Oh, you're not watching this crap, Tony?" And I says, "Yeah, I'm going to stay in again." Oh, he says, "No, we're going down the pub. We're going to go and get bladdered, And the amount of fans who had left it was unbelievable. And I even said to somebody at half time, if we get a goal back, I'll be happy with that, just to show a bit of fight in the second half. Certainly didn't think we were going to end up drawing 4-4 at the end of it.
The check to the volley. Wow.
And when Diaby got sent off for them, I just said to Abu Diaby got sent off. I just said to a guy sitting next to me, I said, why on earth has he had a go at Barton and then Nolan pushed them to the ground and got himself a red card when his team were 4-0 up? And that changed the game. And we got back. We should have won that game because Leon Best scored a goal which wasn't offside. And, so if that goal had stood, we would have won that 5-4. Nolan shaved the post in the last minute as well. I mean, it was just, what a game that was. That was a great game to have been at. And that lives long in the memory, that game. And God bless Czech Teotia now. He's no longer with us. But he'll always be remembered for that goal. And then that celebration when he ran back up from the other end, from the Gallagher end, right up to the St John Hall stand. And yeah, brilliant. Brilliant game, that. 4-4.
Yeah.
We've had many a great game, The 5-0 against Man United at home, Shearer getting barracked off the Man United fans all game. So Shearer, as soon as he set Les Ferdinand up, he went and celebrated to the Man U fans on purpose and give them back. Yeah, in that 4-3 game.
Oh, that 4-3
when Robert scored.
That free kick, wow.
What a player he was as well, Robert. He had a left foot like a wand.
Laurent Robert, yeah. Good game, good player.
Some of the goals he scored, I mean, Jesus, honestly, you just look and think how. I'd love another player like that with a left foot like that.
Some players are just born to play the game, and he was one of them.
Yeah. And Ginola as well, another one. We've had some great players at the club when you think over the years. I mean, it was the anniversary the other day when Newcastle won 4-1 at Sunderland, when we went 1-0 down to Justin Hoyt, and then Albert Lucia wrapped it up. You could see why Sunderland went down that season, because they were absolutely poor.
Oh, Patrick Vieira in the stands tonight.
Is he?
Yeah, he's sat next to Thierry Henry.
Alan's got Miggy Gordon to start. Alan's got 3-1 Newcastle.
We were talking about Gordon on the left. And we were talking about Gordon on the left. It's a mistake. Don't play Gordon on the left. He's not good enough on the left.
Do you know what it is? I've shouted for a long time to get Miggy to play on the left, because he used to in the MLS for Atlanta, and he does sometimes for Paraguay, and he drifts in, and that's how he was getting a lot of his goals for Atlanta in the MLS. Because he was devastating on that left. And the first handful of games that he played for us in Rafa Benitez's last part of the season, Rafa played him left all the time. And he's just changed him into an inverted winger. That's all he's done.
I'm happy for Miggy, because he's just never got a good run in. But now he's proved that he's good enough.
Yeah.
I've seen the amount of players that's injured for Spurs.
There's a lot, isn't there?
They've got 7 out. We've got 3. But that's included Fraser.
Yeah.
They've got
Who?
7, and they've got 7. I'll read them out for you.
Yeah.
So they've got. Let me get them up. They've got Bentancur out. They've got Basuma out. They've got Davies, Emerson Royale, Longley, Mora, and Sessegnon.
That's a lot in it. Yeah, because
I think
Mora's
about 6
suspended,
out.
isn't
I
he?
think 6 out of 7 are defenders.
Yeah.
Wow, that's helpful.
Alan says 3-1 Newcastle win.
I'm not predicting that score. Not a chance.
No. Coffee saying 6-2. Isak to get his first Premier League hat-trick and going to get his first goal. I like your confidence, Coffee. I really do.
Good confidence. I wish I had that confidence.
He said against Man U, we're going to beat them 6-0 or something. Mary says, Jack, I said 3-0, but I expect us to win.
I think everyone expects us to win.
Yeah, we should do, Mary. We should do. I would love to see Dan Burn do an overhead bicycle kick. I think he'll be taking out the team, Coffee. He has to be. You've got to give him a rest.
Even taking out a team, would you ever see Dan Burn doing a bicycle kick?
No.
Jesus. Never in a million
Mary
years.
says first sight to get booked realistically. Bia says Kane's goal against us was offside. They had the dodgy VAR decisions against Brighton. VAR should rules out that second goal at Bournemouth. VAR will be on their side. I mean, against Brighton, yeah, they got 3 points they didn't deserve. Even Harry said that the other day. He said they didn't deserve 3 points. They just got lucky with VAR. I mean, the amount of decisions that Brighton had against them. I mean, the one that went in for the goal, it came off McAllister's hip. It didn't even touch his hand. Mitoba was tripped, didn't even go to VAR, and I think it was Longley who done the handball. No, it was Longley who took Dunk back with 2 hands, gets away with that. I'd say, Brighton should have won that game 4-1 in reality.
It's ridiculous. And poor Brighton.
Yeah. And like the chief executive said, he said, we weren't really interested in the apology from the PGMOL. We just want to know why these decisions aren't being picked up. And he said, if we didn't get European football at the end of the season, he says, that's a potential like £90 million we're missing out on in extra revenue. And I thought, well, yeah, he's right, isn't he, what he's saying?
He is right.
I'd love to see Botman and Cher score, says Alan.
Well,
yeah,
I'd
like
Cher
to see
can
another
hit a ball.
Cher. Can't he just? I mean, that's twice he's done it, hasn't he? Forest and Burnley. And they're both the same type of goal. Carbon
They're just both identical. First game of season Forest, I did not see that coming. I thought we were going to really draw the game. It was just a good score.
The way we were.
And Cher just comes out. Have that.
Yeah. Coffee says, why do referees favour Spurs so much? Is it because of Kane?
I don't know.
It's just the big 6, isn't it?
Yeah, big 6, and probably want Spurs to win a trophy.
Yeah. Mary says, how much do they get paid if they don't book Spurs players? Yeah. Not wrong there, Mary, that's for sure. Jake says 20-0. Isak 5, Gordon 5, Botman 9, and Pope 1.
Jesus Christ.
That might happen on FIFA 23, Jake, but certainly not happening on the pitch on Sunday.
Probably might not even happen on FIFA 23.
No, possibly not, no. Alan says, I'm sure Levy owns VAR. Well, he doesn't own Tottenham, that's for sure, because that's owned by Joe Lewis. And Coffee says, 1 sub away from 500. Yeah, absolutely.
Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, absolutely. Get that subscribe button hit. But yeah, so we're coming towards the end of the show anyway, and it's been a great show, and it's been great to have Jack on as well, and hope it gets on again. And I always ask the guests when they come on, do you want to let the followers know where they can find you?
Name's that. You can follow me on YouTube, Toon TV. That'll be really appreciated. Thank you.
There you go. Go give Jack a subscribe. He's got some great content on there. And yeah, Coffee says the V in Levy stands for VAR.
Yeah.
It's just one guy I can't stand, Daniel Levy, and but even Harry told me, and it was like quite interesting when he said that, because I think he said he knows somebody who sits near the dugouts, and it's either Levy's half brother or some family member, but they sit right near the manager's dugout. So if they hear the manager saying anything wrong about Levy, he goes back and tells Daniel Levy.
Bloody hell.
I would, if I was the manager, I wouldn't want to work like that.
No, not a chance.
No, because you'd be worried in case if I see anything wrong, it's going to go back upstairs.
And it's going to be another Scott Parker incident.
Yeah, definitely. Are you joining for the food picks later? Yes, I'll probably have a look on there and see what the food picks are like. Yeah, definitely. Why not? See what Pete's got up. See what Pete will be up to on his food picks. But yeah. So guys, if you've liked what you see tonight, then please smash the like button. That really does help the channel with search results. So smash those likes. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, and hit the subscribe for it, to do so helps the channel grow. And I'm now only one sub away from hitting 500, so halfway to 1,000, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much to everybody so far who've subscribed. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, then check out northwestmags.com. Sefton, who was in the chat earlier tonight, is obviously at work. He set this website up. It's a brilliant website. Lots on there. Podcasters are on there, everything. So go and check it out. And also, if you're on Facebook and Twitter, they do have a page called Northwest Mags. So do give Sefton a follow on Twitter at Northwest Mags, or on Facebook, send a request or a like. I'm not sure what the page is like there, so just go and check that out. Absolutely fantastic. And you can find me on Tony 31 on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, give me a follow and I'll follow you back also. Just going to some final comments here. Alan says, great show, Tony and Jack and chat. Thank you very much, Alan. Coffee says, hit the subscribe button, just one sub away. Yeah, thank you very much, Coffee. Let's hope. Bye, Tony, Jack and all, says Coffee. Bye to you there, Coffee. Mary says, congrats, boys. Thank you very much, Mary. See you again on the channel. And do check out other content I've got. I've got some great stuff on there. Take care, Tony and Jack, says Ian. You too, mate.
Take care, Ian.
It dropped to 498. Oh, okay. Sometimes YouTube do it, though, because what they'll do is somebody might subscribe and it might be somebody whose account's inactive or whatever, and sometimes YouTube take it off. So it depends. It could be
Happens to me as well.
Yeah.
Happens to me as well. Just a random person unsubscribes. It just happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Or it might just be, like I say, YouTube. Or if somebody's deleted their account, maybe, then it'll take it off. So that's sometimes the case. But I'm sure I'll hit 500 very, very soon. That's for sure. But yeah. But yeah. So, like I say, we go to Spurs on Sunday. Well, St James's Park on Sunday. Let's hope we beat Spurs. 2 p.m. kickoff. And should be a cracking game live on Sky Sports. And yeah, let's see if we get the 3 points, which hopefully we should do. I would like to say they'll be in the bag, but I don't want to say that. But I will say I want to see the 3 points staying in the northeast of England. We'll hit 500 by tomorrow, says Coffee. Yeah, let's hope so. Thank you very much indeed, Coffee. And yeah, but yeah, thank you for coming on, Jack. And I'll have a review backstage. But for now, it's bye-bye from me.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.